In our Sunrise Smart Start, President Biden delivered his strongest endorsement for federal voting rights legislation in Georgia yesterday. The president is now calling on senators to change the filibuster rules to force legislation through, despite widespread Republican objections.
We are joined by Washington correspondent Raquel Martin live in D.C. this morning. Raquel, good morning. What are congressional Democrats saying about the decision by the president?
Good morning. Well, the vast majority of Democrats here on Capitol Hill are applauding the president's more urgent tone. But off of Capitol Hill, several civil rights groups are seeing that already so many states have changed their voting laws, this speech comes a little too late. They're saying they want to see less words and more action.
All right, Raquel, thank you so much. Of course, on the other side of the aisle, what are Republicans saying?
Well, Republicans are calling this a power grab. They say the legislation that Democrats are trying to push is only being designed to try and give them an advantage in federal elections. And they're also saying any change to the filibuster rule would be terrible for democracy. They say it would eliminate the voice of the minority and point to the fact that Democrats in the past have railed against this same effort. But despite that, Democrats are trying to push forward. We know that Senator Schumer says he wants to hold a vote to change the rules by Martin Luther King Day.
All right, Raquel, thank you so much for your time this morning. And some civil rights leaders, including members of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s family, say there should be no celebration of MLK Day next week if Congress fails to act on this issue. Well, now turning to the latest on COVID-19, it is back to school again for RCSD. But only some buildings returning due to staffing issues. About 22 schools in the district will stay remote until next Tuesday. Erica Cost live at East High this morning, where students there are headed back today. Erica, good morning.
Good morning, Mark. And the superintendent says there's a number of absences across the board between families and teachers amid this COVID surge. Dr. Leslie Myers-Smalls says there's been a lot of moving teachers around to accommodate it. Some are even teaching beyond their certifications. Just under 30 schools are returning today, and about 22 next Tuesday after some more meetings and reassessment. The superintendent says the decision was not taken lightly.
I know that there are many different opinions about what I should do or the decisions that myself and my team should make relative to this, and we know making any type of announcement, whether I stayed remote or if we brought everyone back on Wednesday to in person, that there would be disagreement with that. Really, the guiding force is the fact that our scholars do need to be back in school. Their social, emotional needs certainly are critically important and really are a guidepost or a North Star, if you will, to helping us make this decision as a team.
And she says she feels reassured knowing these students are safe in buildings because of success with vaccine clinics this past week. She says hundreds of students are turning out for their booster or first dose, and there will be one more of those tomorrow afternoon. Allie.
All right, thank you, Erica. And the teachers union supported the move to remote learning. You can find the union's full statement on our website, rochesterfirst.com.
All right, let's bring in Christine now and chat a little bit about the forecast, because we were chattering yesterday.
Yes,
today definitely. We can chat again. It's a little bit warmer.
Yes, even though temperatures, this is still considered to be cold, temperatures in the 20s and 30s. You can see where that bitter cold air was yesterday. It's now off to the east in places like Albany, Burlington, Portland, Maine. Now we're getting into the slightly warmer air. We've got temperatures in the 30s, places like Cleveland already at 35, and that's what we will eventually see in our future. So even though this still warrants putting on the hat and the gloves, it is going to be a lot less bitter outside stepping out. So lots of improvements there. We're warming up throughout the day. We eventually do see the cold return, but we've got a few days until we get there. We'll let you know what that looks like coming up with a final check of my forecast.
All right, Christine, thank you. Let's check the roads again with our sunrise traffic. And, you know, roads are clear for the most part, and so far it's been a good commute. Live view of the thruway, no issues there. 390, 490, 590 around Rochester. all clear at this time as well. In other news, the State Department of Health telling local leaders to not distribute tens of thousands of masks that were sent to Monroe County earlier this month.
Yeah, state health officials say the masks are labeled as high-quality KN95s, but they're not. Some masks were already distributed in Monroe County, including to teachers and students in the Rochester City School District. Those with the district say a mistake like this could have caused more children to get sick.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's cheap stuff that was pawned off on unsuspecting clients and then distributed to very vulnerable people, to children, to students, to their teachers. So no wonder that those who sometimes try to save more money than they should at a time when they had ample funds from the state should have invested in good quality masks. There are KN95 masks and N95 masks that are made here in the United States.
State health officials say counties who receive the masks should not distribute them, and replacements will be sent immediately. A review of the masks in stock is currently in progress here locally.
Governor Hochul announcing some new changes when it comes to the state's contact tracing process. The Department of Health will no longer require contact tracing, leaving the decision up to counties. Monroe County has yet to reach a decision on whether local residents will have to undergo the process, but did acknowledge the difficulty in tracking those who've been exposed to COVID in such large numbers.
When the illness is this rampant, there are limitations to what contact tracing can offer. The reality is that the volumes are so huge that neither the state nor us really nor any municipality across the country is able to keep up.
Dr. Mendoza adding the resources currently used for contact tracing could be better allocated elsewhere to testing or vaccine sites.
In more health news, the American Red Cross has declared a national blood shortage for the first time ever. The organization says the nation's supply is incredibly low and people should donate immediately. According to the Red Cross, this is the worst it's been in a decade, and hospitals are feeling the effects of the shortage both nationally and here at home. Factors behind the shortage include COVID, supply chain issues, and staffing shortages.
New this morning, 2 men arrested after a carjacking late last night in Rochester. Police say a 47-year-old man had his car forcibly stolen around 11 o'clock on North Clinton Avenue. The victim was not injured. Shortly after, officers located that car in the area of Lyle and North Plymouth. A 31-year-old man now facing robbery charges. A 34-year-old man has been charged with unauthorized use of a vehicle.
And in developing news this morning, the Ontario County Sheriff's Office is searching for a missing man. Deputies say 79-year-old Willard Pons suffers from dementia and may be in need of medical attention. He was last seen driving a black Chevy Trailblazer on State Route 21 near Manchester yesterday. The license plate KFA 9487. Deputies say he could be heading west and may be traveling to Ohio or Pennsylvania. If you see him, you're asked to call 911.
Happening today, the Rochester Broadway Theater League is scheduled to announce COVID safety updates at the Auditorium Theater. The updates will include information about venue safety enhancements, policy updates, and patron response since reopening. The RBTL welcomed audiences back in September after being closed for some 18 months. The announcement is set for 1 o'clock this afternoon.
In national news, investigators are trying to determine what caused a medical helicopter to crash outside of Philadelphia yesterday. The aircraft was carrying a 2-month-old baby to a hospital when it went down in Drexel Hill just before 1 p.m. Everyone on board thankfully did survive and is expected to recover.
All right, Christine, as folks head out the door, what do they need to know on this Wednesday?
Yes, well, we are generally quiet and temperatures a lot better than yesterday. So stepping outside, you're not going to run into too much in the way of snowflakes. Temperatures, again, a lot better. We are in the 20s and 30s. We will slowly rise above freezing by the afternoon. So it's definitely going to be a lot nicer of a feeling day compared to yesterday. Morning commute does look good to go, besides maybe some of those snow-covered roads still on those side roads there. But other than that, we are pretty much good to go. Temperatures are going to stay pretty okay until we get to the weekend. That's when that cold blast really starts to come back into the picture. So we'll kind of savor this while we can.
Well, 12 degrees on Saturday. Buffalo Bills fans.
Yes.
Going to be watching at home or
Or
being a trooper. Yeah.
All right, that's it for us for now here on Sunrise.
Our next update is coming up in 30 minutes, and CBS Mornings is up next. Thanks for watching.